Hello. Happy Friday. It's a little later than I normally come on. Not that I have a set time anymore. My name is Erica R. Meyer of ericarmeyer.com. I don't know why I'm cleaning up in areas you can't see. Voiceover talent, owner of Reframe It Mindset Motivation. I paused there like I forgot what I was the owner of. Friday brain. Owner of Reframe It Mindset Motivation. Well, I spit. Author of Reframe It, Rethinking Your Reactions to Life's Annoyances, a picture book for adults that is designed to reduce your stress level right away. I teach busy adults how simple shifts in mindset can immediately reduce your everyday stress, improve your health, and increase your happiness. And it was the loss of my father to cancer in 2015 that inspired that curiosity about positive mindset and how it might affect the physical body. And through that experience, Reframe It was born, as well as the Reframe It online course returning in 2019 and the Reframe It meditation service, of which I will have a preview in 2 weeks, 2 weeks from Monday. So I'm warning you up ahead of time. If my presence on live videos for the next 2 weeks is a little sporadic, it's because I'm in the throes of getting that preview ready, because it's about time. I got a preview ready. Yes. So share this out if you can relate. Share this out if you can't relate, because somebody else probably can. Life annoyance of the week this week is when the airline loses your luggage. And y'all, I teased it too. This is out of a book, for real. I actually wrote about this one. Scenario 21. Scenario 21, when the airline loses your luggage. Yes, that in fact happened when we were returning from our Thanksgiving holiday travel. And so when we got home here in San Francisco on the evening we were scheduled to return. We came in on a late flight. So when we actually landed and we were in baggage claim, it was well after 10 p.m. We were already pretty tired because it'd been already a long week of, a lot of visiting, a lot of travel, a lot of miles, a lot of lack of sleep because our schedules were just off. So by that point, husband and I were pretty tired. We were just like, yeah. So we were there, of course, in baggage claim, and the conveyor belt just going around, and we had 4 heavy bags this time. We had 4 heavy bags, and usually, actually I'll save that for the reframe, but 4 heavy bags, and we waited and we had a car waiting for us too. Sometimes we use that service. I don't know if you've ever heard of the app called Wings, WINGZ. That's strictly just airport runs. They do airport. It's like Uber and Lyft, but airports only. And so our driver was waiting, and she was texting like, just checking on you. Where are you? And I'm like, oh, well, we're still here at baggage claim, and our bags aren't, they're not here yet. So, things probably aren't going to go your way when the conveyor belt stops and your bags are still nowhere to be seen. So I went in, with like the Reframe It attitude into the baggage service, lost baggage service / luggage office or whatever it is, and was just, talking to them, and they realized it hadn't been scanned. So I'm not exactly sure if they ended up staying on a flight that we got off of, because we had a connection, and it's possible that they stayed on that flight and never got off. It's possible that they actually were pulled onto a different flight altogether, because our originating flight out of Texas was about 2 hours late, because there was a bird had gotten slammed into the engine, one of the engines, and so they had to make sure that there was no damage to the one that we were supposed to be taking, and that delayed the flight initially. And so they were having to work with people who had really tight connections in Austin, which is where our layover was, to pull a lot of the luggage off and help them to get other connections. We weren't one of those people. However, my husband and I determined that it's likely it's possible that on accident ours got pulled off and just like put somewhere else. You know what I mean? So there's a couple things about that. A, who has had the experience of having lost luggage? Now, this is a twofold question. Who has had the experience of having lost luggage where it was like legit vanished? Like you never saw that luggage ever again? Because that is incredibly rare. Like for it to never, ever see the light of day ever again is incredibly rare. And in fact, it's usually the fact that your luggage is delayed. It just ended up on a different flight, later flight, wrong flight. And it's just, you know, it's going to show up later than you do. Or I've had instances where it has showed up earlier than I have. And it was waiting for us in baggage department the whole time. But we've had that experience before where it's been delayed. And what they end up doing is they will deliver it. The airport has a service where your luggage, wherever you are, whether it be a hotel, whether it be, you know, a home, they have, when it's recovered, they will send a car to deliver it to you. And so that was what happened this time around. And let me tell you, when I realized our luggage was going to be delayed and that we were leaving the airport without it, I was kind of relieved. Because, you know, my husband and I like to unpack right when we get home, get everything settled, get everything out of our bags, get everything put away so that we don't have to deal with it in the morning. And I was just tired by that point. And just knowing, I'm like, oh yeah, I don't have to deal with unpacking tonight. I just can go right to bed. That was like, that's a nice reframe. Also, the fact that we had 4 large pieces, heavy pieces of luggage. And whenever we travel like that, we're like, you know, like teetering everything to try to get out to the car, like trying to, I'm balancing my carry-on with my purse with my 2 bags, and the husband is doing the same, and they're heavy, so like they have the carpet and baggage claim, and so they're not rolling very well. It's all of this like, you know, balancing act that we have to do, which is kind of a pain. So knowing that it was going to end up being delivered to our door was fantastic. It was like the ultimate reframe. Like, yes, someone else is going to have to deal with teetering, you know, and balancing all of our heavy luggage and bring it to our door. That's fantastic. And so that was like a huge reframe of that as well. And, you know, just as I figured, our luggage showed up at our door 12 hours later. So by the next day, around lunchtime, there they were. And so no harm done, nothing lost, no nothing. So here's where I encourage you guys, if you're not savvy travelers, like there's a lot of things. I always make sure that whenever I go into the baggage recovery office area to always be nice, always be kind, because you know those guys probably get their eyes scratched out at least once a day because somebody's just pissed that their bags are not there. And I just went in with a good attitude. When they called me later that night to let me know they'd been recovered and that they were going to be delivered the next day, I was very kind and appreciated their help. Because, I mean, how often do they probably, like, not hear that? They not hear, like, just kindness and grace, all of that, right? I have to believe that it just doesn't happen very often. They actually had candy, a candy bowl inside, I'm sure to, like, to calm people down. They're like, in fact, I was asking some questions to one of the guys, one of the agents back there, and one that was next to him, she said, well, here's some candy, like already trying to like diffuse the situation, which was really funny, but I was cool about it. Because again, kindness gets you places. Kindness takes you farther. You don't have to be ugly. It was not their fault that, you know, the people that you're talking to is not their fault that your luggage got rerouted, right? And so if you're not a savvy traveler, guys, if you don't travel by air, please do not do these things. Do not check your bags with like medication, like needed medication. Don't check your bags with your car keys. Make sure not to put your car keys in your checked baggage, your house keys in your checked baggage. Again, medications in your checked baggage. You know, grandma's jewels. You know what I mean? Heirlooms. Don't put this stuff in checked baggage. This is just common sense. Don't do that. Because in fact, the lady that ended up driving us, she was very kind and waited like an hour for me to take care of all this and get all the paperwork done. She's like, oh yeah, I just had a rider, you know, earlier that, you know, his bag was delayed, but his house keys were in it. I'm just like, come on, guys. Don't put important things in the checked bags. It's just, no. You're just setting yourself up for disaster. No. And another way, and you know I use this as a common reframe, another thing that I did to reframe that, again, it took us another hour. It was an extra hour there at the airport that we had to do to wait for the bag, you know, to see that, it wasn't coming, and to get all the paperwork filed so that they could deliver it. So that was an extra hour. Lord knows, you know how I always like to say, perhaps that extra hour off the road with everybody coming back from the holidays could have saved us from some sort of accident or disaster, because it was raining. You never know. Never know. So, scenario 21 in my book, lived yet again. Let me know your lost luggage experience. And again, I would bet money that it's very, very, very rare that you hear that bags are like legit, like vanished. So anyway, if you guys have any questions about Reframe It, go to ericarmeyer.com. And again, for the next couple of weeks, lives may be a little bit sporadic as I really get ready to get the preview for the meditation service going. I'd love to hear about your lost luggage experiences. And in the meantime, have an amazing weekend and happy reframing. Bye, guys.